Hi everyone, welcome to the 21st entry in the Dev Diary series for Chromatic Void. We have some cool aesthetic and mechanical updates coming at you today, so let's get started. The first thing I want to discuss is the new animation style that we've kind of been leaning towards since the implementation of a couple enemies. So, with the enemy animations, we added what we like to call stepped animation. Things are a little bit less fluid, a little more old school cartoonish, or even claymation-esque. So we actually liked that direction so much that we've started pushing all of the character animations, including Void's, towards that. So in that vein, his animations, while all the same, have been updated to use this more stepped animation style. So there is a nice pause between frames. If we actually slow it down here, you can see that he hangs in each pose for a good while before moving onto the next one. Like I said, that is to give it a more classic or claymation style of animation that adds something charming to the game and actually looks really good in engine. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it here. You can see Void is actually using these animations even in his idle, especially in his tail there. You can see there's a little bit of a step, but it works pretty well, I would say. This is also very apparent in his running and double jumping animations. You can see where the fluidity has been reduced a bit, but it definitely feels more cohesive with the enemies and even with the world around him to an extent. So it's a direction that we're really liking and eager to pursue. The other big update this week is, hey, we can pause the game. Ain't that neat? Yes, there is a pause menu now. You can cycle between return to the game, which will return you to the game, options, which doesn't do anything yet, and quit to title, which just quits the game for now. Pretty simple in its execution, but the main development there is that we have got it working with both mouse and keyboard controls as well as the gamepad. So pretty cool developments there overall. The last thing I want to talk about as far as in-engine is a couple of very minor mechanical things, but just something that we are experimenting with regarding the pacing. So you'll notice that Void actually has an ability meter up there in the top left that drains when he uses specific abilities like his dash, the quick draw claw, or even the flare. So that meter has actually been slowed. It recovers more slowly than it did before. However, there is a caveat that interacting with certain assets in the environment will actually help fill that bar a little more quickly, such as the lightning wire here. While on that, you'll see that the bar actually refilled much more quickly than it would normally, and that is intentional. That is going to open up the possibilities for meter management a little bit more in gameplay. Not to mention, we are going to be implementing enemy drops here pretty soon, so enemies will also be able to drop specific items here pretty soon, which will also be able to help with meter management. Kind of a more minute detail, but something I wanted to highlight while I had a chance. The last thing I wanted to discuss with you is, you guessed it, more level concepts for Chromatic Carnival. Now we've thrown a lot at you in regards to this stage, and we are getting close to the end of its planning and should be moving into implementation here pretty soon. So the last couple of obstacles that we have are known as the Polar Plunge, which is a section where Void will be platforming between these small icebergs and leaping between target platforms as they fall beneath him, assailed by some enemies off screen. So as he leaps from platform to platform, certain baseballs or spherical objects from off screen will be hurled towards the targets, and as they collide, the platforms will fall out, leaving him to fall to the plunge below unless he can make it through quickly enough. Now, the last idea we're throwing out there is a section where Void needs to move between certain slopes on a snowy hill, probably earlier in the stage, to avoid polar bears, penguins, and the such sliding down the hill and trying to send him tumbling to his doom. So it's a pretty straightforward platforming segment that, kind of eases the player into some of the other more challenging obstacles later in the level. With that, we're going to turn it over to the question of the week. The question this week Since we are talking about the finer intricacies of gameplay and mechanics, what is your favorite unique mechanic from any video game? What is something that makes a specific game stand out to you, and what is the reason for it? What is the function that really makes it stand out to you? Let us know in the comments below or over on Twitter at Chromatic Void. As always, we appreciate your viewership, and we really do appreciate you sticking with us through this production journey. It's been an exciting journey, and we're glad to have your support as we continue moving forward. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care.